So guys, what's up? I'm once again doing something incredibly original. I am talking over Call of Duty gameplay, because this has never been done before on the entirety of YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, I want to touch upon a subject that I did actually talk about a little while ago, one of my vlogs, but I very briefly sort of skimmed the surface of my experiences of it. So as you can see by the title, I'm going to talk about my experiences with bullying. Now, as you can probably tell by the sound of my voice, it's not something that has so much affected me in a consistent sense. It affected me at the time, and it did sort of make me make certain decisions, but it's not had a prolonging effect on me. And I'm not saying that in general bullying has no effect on people or doesn't have a prolonging effect, but it's not something that has personally affected me properly for this amount of time. I mean, it took me a while to get over the feeling of being bullied, but it, in the long run, hasn't made me do anything um, largely negative, so to speak. So I'm going to start from the origins, basically. I started getting bullied around about third grade, fourth grade, so year 3 or 4. And it was mostly due to my weight. I was I wasn't say I was very, very big. I was larger than normal. I was overweight, basically. I wasn't what I should have been for my age. I was way over it because I just enjoyed my food so much, basically. It's not really uncommon in any way, shape, or form. It's one of those things that you're either big when you're young, big when you're older, or you stay the same, or it varies between person. I know it sounds really retarded me saying that, but I was just one of the bigger ones as a child, and I got picked on for it. So obviously, I didn't really personally have the confidence to defend myself, because I didn't want to offend other people because I was too soft, basically. And I could pretty much say I kind of am now. I'm still a bit too soft for my own good, but yeah, so most of it was just weight calling stuff, like obviously you're fat or who ate all the pies, blah blah blah. It was physical as well, like people did used to hit me for no reason, just because bullying. Uh, and I remember an incident in that primary school where I was actually whipped with a skipping rope by someone numerous times, and that marked me pretty bad. Thankfully, it hasn't left any scars or anything, but it still fucking hurt. Let's put it that way. It wasn't pleasant. Um, and it just sort of got worse from there, and it just gradually got, like, my mental state went downhill quite badly as I grew up, because when you're younger you don't really fully understand it, I don't think, but when you get older, obviously it's something that you come to grips with and fully understand why people do it. And I think that kind of makes it worse in a way, because you feel that you're being then taken over, because they're picking on you because they obviously make that it makes them feel bigger, better and more powerful. And obviously the fact that they have that power over you makes you feel they don't, but like it gives you the feeling that they do, and it makes you feel like shit, basically. Um, and yeah, and it's not a pleasant feeling to feel helpless, basically. I only had one of my friends in primary school look after me, and that's how I avoided it for a relatively large amount of primary school. It still happened, but not nearly as much as it did when I hit secondary school. That's when it started going really bad, because obviously secondary school is one of those places. Obviously, you're learning a lot more, so there's a little bit more stress on your shoulders. People grow up and they're going through puberty, so everyone's hormones are everywhere. So it's just one of those things. It just became a really big fuck up, basically. Year 7 it was pretty bad. Year 8 as well. They were both relatively bad years. Again, it was the same thing about my weight, but obviously as you grow up you develop more understanding of different things, so the insults did become a little bit more crap, in the sense of like more shagging jokes, more your mum jokes and all this sort of crap. But obviously for someone that was bullied for so long at the time already, and the feeling that I had towards certain people, made it worse, really, because obviously I thought I could trust some of the people that bullied me, but because I thought they were my friends, and they just turned out to be cunts, basically. Um, and it wasn't. It's never ever like you do struggle. The worse that it gets, the more you struggle to find a positive and a happy place, because you feel that every happy place you go to gets turned away. And I mean, I I was raised by my mum, so I obviously from a single parent family, and my mum and my nan pretty much raised me. So I never really had a full male influence, and I think that was one of the reasons that I was a little bit different, really. And but besides that, as I say, like we struggled for money at the time as well, so there was the stress of that going on at home. So my mum was working a lot, and she was always really tired 'cause she was trying to support me, and obviously she was trying to make sure I was okay. So a lot of the time, although I did mention it and tell people, I did sometimes just keep it to myself. And in the end, I did just keep it to myself, and that's when Year 9 came along, and it got very bad. I was getting picked on because of my weight once again, as I say. People were picking on me because my granddad had passed, and they decided to combine the two, basically say that I'm fat and that I should have eaten him or something, and things like that. So not very nice things, to say the least. Very very cunty things, and it did affect my school. My grades dropped from then on. I was what the teachers considered like a promising student. My grades were very high. My predicted grades were incredibly high, but because of the bullying, they did drop, and I did not do very well at school because of it. Because I just gave up in the end, and I just then started picking on myself. So then I had no self-worth at all, because I thought, well, you know, I'm picking on myself now. Because they see nothing in me, I see nothing in me. So why should it matter? That's pretty much where my brain went, and that continued up until I left where I lived and the school that I went to, and moved to another school in another area of England completely, and just left everything behind. Basically, I left everything there that I did have, which, aside from my family, was not much else. I didn't really have many friends down there. I just left it all behind pretty much, and I moved to where I am now, and things were a lot better because I decided to hide behind. Well, I didn't hide. I changed. I think the experience itself changed me. I became a lot more honest with people. I was very much open, but I was open to other people about how I felt about them and things like that. Basically, I was more blunt, to put it in a plain text, and I changed. Well, I guess I grew. I adapted, because although things got very, very bad back in where I used to live, to the point where I was depressed, I was very, very self-conscious, and I wasn't thinking good thoughts. Basically, I don't really want to go into it. I wasn't really thinking great thoughts. So I had quite a lot of issues, and obviously that really affected my mum naturally, because obviously she loves me to bits. And I didn't like seeing that. But when we moved away, as I said, everything changed. I got friends. I was more honest. As I said, I was more blunt than that, and I was just more I started to get my confidence back a bit. I never told anyone that I was bullied because I didn't want to show people that I had that weakness. So I just came into the school with a new attitude and a new outlook on everything, and I've never been bullied since, basically. So I'd like to sort of do like an outlook on bullying in general quickly, because it is quite a unfortunately prevalent subject. It's something that happens still quite a bit to this day, and it is very unfortunate because it's not something that I believe anyone should experience, no matter who they are. Really, I don't think bullying is something that anyone should really experience, because it's shit. Like I don't know how else to put it. It's a horrible, horrible feeling, and I wouldn't really wish that upon anyone, to be honest, because it is, as I said, a very nasty feeling. Has it? I mean, obviously, I'm sure you guys are wondering, has it affected me to this day? It's made me stronger, I think. I'm not saying that bullying's a great thing, but it has definitely made me stronger, because it showed me from an early age how cruel and unfair life can be, but it's also showed me through the transition how good life can be and how promising it can be. So it's given me definitely a very positive outlook on a lot of things. As I say, it's made me a lot more confident, and a lot less afraid to say and do things. The main effect it did have on me, though, was my weight, to be honest. But that it didn't really turn out as a bad thing, because although I was very conscious about my weight because of it, it's helped me become who I am now. and I do bodybuilding pretty much. I do 5 days a week at the gym. I follow programs and healthy eating plans, and I've lost a considerable amount of weight, and obviously my fitness levels are through the roof. So, in other words, it's helped me push myself to be what I want to be and not stay unhealthy and overweight. So I did thankfully come out the better side of the issue. Obviously, where I look at it more positively. Unfortunately, there are people that aren't able to do that or are struggling to do that because they feel so knocked down about the scenario, and that is very unfortunate because, as I say, no one really should need to experience it in order to have the feelings and everything that I have now. I still get bouts of self-consciousness, don't get me wrong. I still am very self-critical of myself, but I haven't put it in the sense as it used to be, where I have no self-worth. And I do feel a lot better about myself in general. So, all in all, it's been an experience. It's been a very rocky experience over the years of my life so far, to say the least. But it's not something. It's something that I would never say I'd miss, because I'd never miss being bullied. That's, as I say, it's not a feeling I wish to relive. But it has helped me in a way realise what people are capable of. Not that I needed something like that to make that prominent in my mind, but it still has helped in a way, and it's made me obviously realise that I am a strong person, and anything's possible as if you put your mind to it. As cheesy and corny as that may sound, it's completely possible to be who you want to be, regardless of how much people put you down. It is difficult though, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this whole transition's been easy, because it hasn't, and a lot of people do still and will struggle if they have been bullied, and they'll have permanent damage because of it. And obviously I do feel conscious when I eat around people. I still have that's just a prevalent thing in my mind now. I do, whenever I eat, I feel conscious of what I'm eating. I feel that everyone's looking at me and thinking shit, and whenever people comment on me while I eat, I do get a bit triggered in a way. Sometimes, like, if someone says, "Oh, you're eating a bit too much," I'll get a bit like, because obviously I did eat too much as a kid, and I did go overweight because of it, and obviously led to the bullying. But I do, as I say, all people have to remember are bullies. Bullies are all weak. They are. All bullies are weak. The reason that they bully someone is because it makes them feel powerful, and that's something that they require. That feeling of power is what they require in a day, by putting someone else down, because obviously they have nothing else, or they have very little, or they have the same being done to them. They want that feeling of power that is maybe being thrown over them. Which, again, a lot of bully stories are relatively unfortunate, but that's one of the unfortunate outcomes. Is sometimes the bullied become the bully, and thankfully, I mean, I kept the mindset of instead of thinking, well, maybe I should try that to feel better about myself, I thought I never want to become like that, and I never plan to become like that. I mean, with bullying, as I say, comes a lot of issues. Like, obviously, bullies can be very manipulative, and they can be controlling because they have that power, because of the person, and it's unfortunate. And all I can say is you just have to stand up to them in the right way. I mean, I'm not saying fight, because I was never a fighter, and I never am. I never have been a fighter. I'm a very strong believer in keeping the situation passive as possible. Like, I don't do arguments. I don't do shouting contests, and I don't do pushing and shoving. I do try and get to the bottom of it as calmly and collectively as possible. So, by no means am I saying fight. What I'm saying is stand up for yourself and do what you can to stop them. But as I say, in no means drastic extreme measures. So go to a teacher, go to a headmaster, talk to them, tell them how you feel. Like, not in the sense of like, oh, you're really upsetting me. If you have to throw a few insults, then it's just the way things are. But by no means am I saying become the bully, and by no means am I saying stoop to their level. But the unfortunate thing is you can't go to their level, and you have to try and keep calm. And some things, unfortunately, you have to just deal with. You just have to deal with it, because some of them are so far gone that there's no talking them out of any situation. So sometimes it is just having a hardened shell and just sort of brushing off the insults. Like now, I don't really care. I mean, I've heard everything now. There's not really much. No one can really say anything that I haven't already heard. So I don't really get that offended anymore at all. Like if someone called me fat, I'd be like, cool. No, I don't really care. So a lot of it is just becoming tougher and having a backbone, basically, and just growing. And I think it's like with any form of nature, you just need to adapt to your surroundings, you need to adapt to the scenario in the way that you see fit. So anyway, this has been a longer video than I thought. So yeah, in a nutshell, basically, guys, my experience, obviously, bullying wasn't as drastic as some people have had. People have it a lot worse than the stories I've told. I'm by no means asking for sympathy whatsoever, because I don't require that. I'm good. I'm past all. I just wanted to talk about it, and obviously if anyone does wish to talk about it, then feel free to message me in the comment section or anything like that. Or even if some of my friends watching this, feel free to talk to me about it. Honestly, I really don't mind. I'm always here to help people. Because, as I say, no one should have to deal with it alone, and that's probably one of the worst feelings, is having to deal with something like that alone, with no one fully understanding. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video anyway. If you want me to elaborate on any points, then please go ahead and ask me. This video will be up in a few days or so, because I have quite a lot to upload anyway. And I hope you've enjoyed. As I say, I know it's very unoriginal commentating over Call of Duty, but yeah, I plan on doing some more of these in the future, because I don't want to just film my face, because I feel guys might get a bit bored. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed. So any questions in the comment section below, and obviously if you have anything you want to ask me that you want me to comment on or talk about, then feel free, because I want to make these videos a little bit more often, because they're quite fun and they're relatively easy to make. So I hope you guys enjoyed anyway, as I say, and I'll see you later.